He had the splash on you. You had to get the synth guy had to get busy. Yeah, yeah. It's another one he did. The classic, man. Off that Untouchable.
It's gonna be some stuff you're gonna see.
Scarface, Tupac, Smile. Produced by Mike Dean.
You gotta keep your sense of humor. You gotta be able to smile.
Dean classics, man. I can't even get
What's up, brother?
technology. Wait, there you are. What's up, brother?
What's up? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Mike. Man, I was trying to set the tone with these Mike Dean classics, man. I couldn't even get going, man. You got too many records, man.
Yeah, I've been doing it way too long, right?
Hell yeah, but doing it so long though, it's shocking to me that this 420 thing is technically like your first solo instrumental album. Like, why was it time?
I just didn't have any clients around the house. You know what I mean? Nobody was coming over to work, so I just started live streaming, and one thing led to another. It's okay to smoke on you?
Happy 420, Mike. Happy 420, baby.
You know what I'm saying? It's 420. Shit. How you been? How's everything in New York?
I'm in LA. I did the smart move. I moved to LA.
Oh,
yeah,
smart move. No.
I mean, I love New York, but you know what I mean. I think we're social distancing a little better out here.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's funny, like, to go back a little bit of history, I was doing some research, and I had forgot, like, obviously we know your background was those early Rap-A-Lot years in Houston, but I think I was hearing that, you touched LA early, like you and Scarface, a lot of that stuff, the Untouchable, all that stuff was cooked up here in LA, right?
Yep. Right here in Studio City.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why was that the vibe at that time? What was it like? What was it like for you to make that transition to be like in the 90s in LA?
I mean, we came out, I think I came out to LA my first time with N.O. Joe. You remember him, the producer that produced all the Scarface with me?
Yeah.
He brought me out here to mix a couple of records for one of his artists, Cozy, I think. And I just fell in love with it. I was like, man, I got out here, people, like I was in Houston for all those years producing Rap-A-Lot. I didn't know anybody even knew me outside of Houston. I got to LA, everybody's like, oh, you're Mike Dean? I'm like, yeah. They were like, man, you're a legend. I was like, shh. So me and Scarface started coming out here, we like the better weed, the better sun,
Yeah.
And just kind of fell in love with it, That's where we made the Untouchable album, made Big Mike's second album out here, 3 Times Crazy, going way back.
I'm acting up a little bit. Wait. Oh, let's move it out. Sorry. 1 second. Mike, sorry about that. The Wi-Fi acting up. Let me move around.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, I wonder if it was mine or yours.
Get the technology right. Hold on 1 second.
Looks like I'm gonna smoke my first joint of 420 with you.
You got to set that tone, man. But talk about that Untouchable. I always think of the 2 classics on there, that Mary Jane and Smile.
Yeah.
What are your memories of those records?
I mean, Mary Jane, we were just let's see. It's a funny story. Me and Tone Capone and Scarface were in the studio working on Untouchable, and every song he's like, I want to make Project Bitch over, you know what I mean? And so every beat we made, we were trying to make something that was similar to that vibe, And then it would always turn into another song. That's when Mary Jane started out as Project Bitch too.
Yeah.
And then it was just classic. Like Mary Jane was like, in another zone. You know what I mean? I was really fucked up when I was looking at it. I was shroomed out. You know, we were high as hell. We were all having a lot of fun.
But this new album, man, you talk about trippy, man. The shit with this record, this 420 record. First of all, you're giving us like 28 tracks, 90 minutes of music. Like the whole vibe is just like, you know, trippy, hallucinogenic kind of vibe to it. Like, what was the method of putting the project together? Like, what are you trying to like achieve with it?
Take people through a trip. You know what I mean? Like a journey, like kind of the journey of being locked in your house. You know, you see how it starts off kind of mellow, then it builds and it builds and it gets a little bit more angst in it. You know.
Yeah.
Like you see by the end, the last track is so distorted and 200 beats a minute. It's like, you're like, fuck, let me outside, you know? But, I mean, the album came about like about 3 weeks ago. I guess I was like, should I go live on Instagram and play some keyboards? You know, I just tweeted that.
Yeah.
And people were like, yeah, oh, yeah. And then that night I started going live. I did live stream for 14 nights in a row.
Wow.
You know, like 30, 40 minutes every time. And my girlfriend Louise, the only person in the house helping me film it.
Yeah.
Helping me get my lighting right, creative direction. She did the album art cover and all that shit.
The dog didn't help, Mike? The dog didn't help?
Oh yeah, Me Boob helps a lot, yeah. Everybody follow the real Me Boob. No, but after about 4 or 5 of those live streams, I was like, man, I could take these live streams and just make an album out of them. You know, and I already had these, like one song I made with Moog, Moog synthesizers.
Yeah.
One song I made with G-Pen. You're not with them, but like,
yeah,
I do like collaborations, just, and then I needed a home for those. And I was like, hey, these live streams, if I took like an hour and 10 minutes of live streams and these 3 tracks that I have already, put it together and make a nice album. It was like that quick. Like,
wow.
probably 2 weeks ago, I was like, let's put out an album on 420. And everybody's like, what? It's like,
yeah.
It's doing well, though. It's like,
yeah,
it's being received. It's good.
And was you warned, like, the Kanye or Travis or those kind of guys know you were going to put something out like that? Did you, like, tell any of the people you work with closely often?
Yeah, I was trying to get some oohs and ahs from Travis and Kanye and Cudi and shit, for a couple of the songs. Like no lyrics.
Yeah.
Everybody, nobody had access to the studio. Everybody was in lockdown,
Yeah.
So maybe my next album, I'll do kind of instrumental album with nothing but like backup vocals. Kind of a stunt, like Kanye did on All of the Lights, where he had like 15 famous people singing.
Yeah. Building the chorus, yeah.
And shit like that, you know what I mean? And then the next album after that's going to be like a full-on, collaboration album, like my own, whatever, Astroworld or whatever, my own Untouchable or whatever.
Yeah, talk about this connection you have, like, you're so known now as like the synth god and these Moog synthesizers. Like, talk about your connection to that instrument and like how you become so kind of prolific with it, and now people equate it to you, right? Like when I think of synth, hip hop especially, your name just automatically is linked to it.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, I grew up. We're probably about the same age, I think. I grew up in
49.
Yeah, I'm 55. Shit, I'm old. Anyway, I grew up during, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, like Yes and Asia and all the prog rock groups, I guess you call it.
Yeah.
And that shit inspired me. I mean, like I used to always watch all those keyboard players, and be like, man, that shit's amazing. And like as I was growing up as a kid, I just started getting, synthesizers here and there. I never could afford a Moog, so I always had, the cheaper shit, some Korg or a Roland, And, even Scarface even got a Moog like 20 years ago when they first came.
Yep.
Yep. It's like, and I never fucked with it much until I guess I started working with Kanye.
Yeah.
And Jeff Basker brought the Moogs back around,
Yeah. Which project was that around? Which album was that around? You think you started really using it?
It was like the end of Graduation. You know, that's whenever Jeff was playing synths, you know, playing keyboards on the road with Kanye.
Yeah.
You know, and he showed me a thing or two. And then from there, it's over, you know.
Yeah, what was some of the first productions where you were using that element and you felt like, wow, this is like, I like the way this is going. This direct, like, do you remember some of the early productions where you started really using it and it really stood out to you?
I think Dark Twisted Fantasy
Yeah.
was where I started using, you know, more of that. Me and Jeff both, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just slowly, like I'm on the Juno 106 a lot, you know, the Roland, the other keyboard that I play a lot.
Yeah.
I was on that a lot during those albums, but the Moog just started coming out like All the Lights, bass line, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And then whenever me and Jeff went on tour with Kanye playing keyboards, we'd have like a Moog battle on stage. We'd be like, you know what I mean? Playing in harmonies with each other, and like, and from that, you know what I mean? It just turned into the sound of my shit, you know?
Yeah. No, it's dope. I mean, they equated with you. Speaking of battle, man, they want you to. You see these battles, man. They want Mike Dean to battle somebody, man. Who would you battle out here if you had to battle somebody?
Anybody except for anybody that I've produced with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I couldn't beat battle
Yeah.
Jeff Basker or Rick Rubin, you know, because we all work together, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Can you speak about that actually? Because a lot of times, like Scott Storch got a little shit because he would, you know, he played some records that he did with Dre, and like, you know, you're somebody whose credits are across the board, and you have a lot of co-production credits, right? Like, can you talk about like how you know, necessarily may have other producers' names on the record, but in your mind, I'm sure those are your records. Those are your, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is
They're
it
still
like?
my records that
Yeah.
I added to, or you know, like took over the top and made them great,
Yeah.
you know. Like I don't know, that's a touchy situation, you know. It's like I would anytime if I did a beat battle like that, I'd have to shout out my co-producers on every song I play. I'd be like, okay, did this with so and so.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I wouldn't feel right, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I mean, if Scott Storch can play Still Dre and that Timberland joint, you know, that kind of shit, like you know, the what's his name?
Yeah.
Anyway, if you can play that, you know, I can play
Primary
my
Rivers.
yeah. If I can play my co-productions, I would kill anybody.
Yeah.
Promise.
I think one of the more famous ones is "Devil in a New Dress," where like Bink had this sample, but then you come with this whole other arrangement,
Yeah.
take the record into another direction.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah, Bink's still mad about that sometimes. Every year when it's the anniversary of the album, I get some grief from Bink, you know. I mean, it wouldn't exist without Bink, you know. We wouldn't have chopped that sample, you know. We wouldn't have that.
Yeah.
But then again, without me, it probably would have just been a Good Friday song. You know what I mean? Like, because we put it out for Good Friday.
Yeah, short version.
Kanye wasn't putting nothing on Dark Twisted Fantasy that was already out.
Yeah.
We had to flip it and smack it up and rub it down.
Oh, no.
No.
But, yeah, because I mean that it was also set a template for Ross to come in with the guest vocal. Like the whole song was strengthened by that. But I saw something before you were saying like you always been like not that pro sample. Like you like to bring that instrumentation, almost like use the sample as sort of like a blueprint and sort of challenge your creativity to take it in another direction, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, reharmonize it with different bass notes, or you know, filter it and play stuff on top of it. You know, that's something me and Kanye kind of pushed. You know, because you know Kanye was a real sample-based producer.
Yeah.
And the only way that he could really elevate his sound was for us to start playing over the samples, you know, modifying them and shit.
So how like with the creative turn he's made with more towards religion, and I think like Westside Gunn was telling me a lot of the stuff he's cooking up now, there's no cursing in it. Like how is the creative partnership continue to develop, or has it changed at all with these sort of creative ways he's changed his approach to music?
I mean, as a producer, you just got to roll with your artist, you know what I mean? And whatever their vision is, you got to roll with it and make it the best it can be, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I'm
not there to change his ways, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, if he wants to rap about God and Wyoming and shit, that's great. You know, that's great, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, more power to him, you know? He's probably the greatest creative in the world, you know?
Absolutely.
It's like, what are you going to do?
Speaking of creative, what is it like? Because I saw like I was looking at your old feed. You put up the I forgot you and like a young Travis went to the Grammys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that was one year with my girlfriend, Louise. She didn't want to go to the Grammys. She's like, every time we go, it's just the same old bullshit. You know what I mean? We sit in the back section with the engineers and, you know what I mean? You get pissed off every year, you know? It's like, she's like, I'm not going. She said, just, you know, take somebody else. I was like, okay, I'm going to hit up Travis. You want to go to the Grammys? Like, hell yeah. It's like, that was fun too, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
we hired our driver, you know, Vladimir. Back in the day, you know what I mean? Nobody let you smoke in the car. I had a driver. We could smoke in the car.
Yeah.
We had the old town car, you know?
Yeah.
Pull up the Grammys. That was memorable. That was good.
No, yeah. What's it like? Also, 'cause I remember like those early shows with Travis, and Travis would always have his head down, and like was really a shy kid, and like we would be kicking it backstage and stuff like that, and then like to see him develop into the superstar he's become and kind of open himself up more. Like, what has it been like to witness his growth as an artist and icon in his own right now?
It's amazing. It's like being a father, kind of. You know, it's like so proud of him with everything he's done. You know, he's like taking shit to a whole nother level. Like he's in the Kanye realm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the two most prolific, along with Jay-Z. That's like the three.
Yeah.
Like the best performers, the best on stage, the best making albums. You know, like they're just the shit. You know.
Yeah, what do you remember of that? Because I think a lot of people do connect you to to Kanye and to Travis, but I know from talking to Jay how much respect he has for you. Like, talk a little bit about working with him, and especially a lot of it with the Drone Project. What are your memories of working on the Throne?
Oh man, well I met Jay in like 1995, I think. Like when we were working on Scarface. Forget what album it was. Last of a Dying Breed, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it was about 97, I guess. I don't want to exaggerate. but, and we were always just amazed how Jay-Z would come in the studio and, all the rappers would always sit down with their pen and pad and write out 16 lines and then go in the booth and read it,
Yeah.
And Jay'd walk around, rapping like that. And then, that motherfucker gets on the mic and just raps like 8 bars out of his head. And we're like, whoa. And ever since then, I just always thought he was a great, it's like one thing to rap, but it's another thing just to, off the top of your head, he was the pioneer of that shit to me.
Yeah.
And then we kept in touch over the years, like me and Jay, remember the Rhyme or Reason movie?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, me and Jay shot it. We made a song for that.
Wow.
Together. We were in the studio together, we made this dope ass song. We were supposed to get Scarface on it. And then the Rap-A-Lot never would clear Scarface to be on it, so it never happened.
Wow. I didn't know that. Wow.
And then that song actually became a song on Reasonable Doubt, What was his first album?
Yeah, Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Started out making Small Time Bacon, whatever song that was. I did the original beat for that, and then he had to flip the beat because, he couldn't get it clear. But ever since then, we've been friends, it's really crazy to watch him go from, the rapper with the big chain, dookie chain.
Yeah.
Probably plastic, to being a billionaire. You know what I mean? No, I wasn't plastic. I was kidding, Jay.
No, of course. What's your favorite memory of sessions with the Drone Project? Because you guys was traveling all over and the Mercer Hotel.
Oh man,
the whole project.
The Throne album. It was like, I remember Jay and Kanye would both laugh at me, like every time that we had 2 mics set up in the room. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We had the Jay-Z mic and we had the Kanye mic, just facing each other. And Noah would always be sitting in the middle recording them. And I'd be in the back, fucking with the boog and the bass and, fucking with the beats. But every time they'd get on the mic, Jay'd get on the mic and we'd go, yeah. He'd get on the mic and I'd just start giggling like a kid, like, oh, something's fucking gonna happen. Like, when you hear Jay-Z say yeah on the mic, it's like, oh, everybody listening, like something's about to happen. That's like my favorite memory of the Throne was just Jay-Z and Kanye on the mic just going at each other,
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Legendary, man. I gotta ask you, the streets want me to get a good Jay Prince story. Any Jay Prince story you can share? About the early Rap-A-Lot days?
Can't be dry snitching. No, Jay Prince. I mean, he's the one that put me on this whole rap game. You know,
Yeah.
like before Rap-A-Lot, I produced one rap group. You know, called the Def Squad. It was like a real pro black Muslim group with a black and a white guy. Actually, it was kind of weird.
Wow.
And I produced that stuff, and I think their engineer Peter Reardon, who owns Shadow Hills Audio now,
Yeah,
was like, I need help. He wanted to go make videos, so he hired me to be the engineer at Rap-A-Lot. I didn't even know how to engineer. Jay Prince put me on salary for I think it was like $1,600 a month or something, you know, before taxes. And they put me in a studio with an SSL board, showed me a couple of things, gave me the manual and the key to the room. And I figured that shit out over the next 6 months. It became,
wow.
Next thing I knew, I mixed Bushwick Bill's first solo album, Little Big Man.
Yeah.
Jay Prince completely put me on with this shit, you know what I mean? Without him, I might still be playing piano bars somewhere, you know?
Wow. And instead, I saw recently he was on tour with Madonna. Stunting like that, Mike? On tour with Madonna?
Yeah, I produced her next to last album, and I executive produced the new album. Produced about 8-9 songs on there.
Wow. How did you guys connect? How did that connection come about?
Kanye did a song with her.
Yeah.
And then she really liked my vibe and shit, and asked me to come back and work on her album. We're really good friends now. She's amazing. Yeah. She's like a Kanye in the studio, really. She knows what she wants and she gets it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You may think that she's like somebody's pushing her buttons, but she's the mastermind. She's the puppeteer of all that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
How do you keep that passion, Mike? I always push myself. How do you what challenges do you still face, and how do you stay so inspired? It seems like for all you've accomplished, you still want more. You still want to keep going. You still want to challenge yourself and do new things. How do you stay so inspired and motivated?
I mean, just trying to live life, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I did a quote yesterday on Twitter. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's something like, a producer should never live in the past, you know what I mean, or the present.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't be if you came up in the 90s, you can't still be making beats like the 90s in the 2020s. I mean,
I found it. You said producers should never get stuck in time. They should always be time travelers living in the future.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just trying to, I'm trying to live in, 3010, you know what I mean? Trying to keep the music pushed very far forward.
Yeah. Well, this album sounds like it, man. It's 420. How proud are you to get this out to the world?
It's crazy that it's being, critically acclaimed and, accepted like that. I didn't think it would,
Yeah.
I was really worried, actually, kind of shitting my pants, wonder what's going on. But I mean, you got to think each song is called something night, right? Mm-hmm. One night, I made that in 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The first track, whatever night it is, 1 through 10, I played that in 20 minutes, and I didn't overdub anything on this. Just what it came out as. No edits, no fixing anything.
Yeah.
Just a quick, 30-minute mix on it, and that's what's amazing about the album to me, that it's live, really.
Yeah.
No pre-recorded stuff, no sequencers, no layers, anything that was sequenced, I sequenced it on the film,
yeah,
kind of crazy.
Tell me about this one, Mike. What the hell's going on here, man?
That one, back in December, I think, Gustaffelstein. He's got Gustaffelstein.
Uh-huh.
He's a good friend of mine. He asked me if I wanted to open up for him in L.A. I was like, hell yeah, and then I was like, for 2 months, I was like, what am I going to do? I don't have any music to play. And then the night before the show, I think the show's on Friday, I think Wednesday night before the show, I went to the studio with my assistant Sean. I was like, I gotta make some music. And I made that song and 3 other songs in 3 hours, and that's what I played at the show.
Yeah.
That's where that song came from. It's last minute smash out a beat, it's a trip. I like that part right there.
I saw the keyboard setup you have at the studio is insane. Like mountains of keyboards at this point, right?
Oh yeah, it's getting there. I got like, what do I got? Like 25 more keyboards in Texas in the storage room. You know,
Wow.
like 20 more in my garage. I'm slowly like trying to get as many as I can smashed into my room without ruining.
Wifey supports. She's cool with it. All the stuff.
What's that?
The wifey's cool with everything. All the machinery.
Oh, yeah, she's always cool. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she helped me. So like I said, her name's Louise Donegan. She did all my creative direction. You know, on the album.
Yeah, you got fuck coronavirus face mask and shit. Everything. Yeah.
Did you see that
logo. Everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Go to MikeDean420.com. Pick those up. All the proceeds from that one mask, the fuck coronavirus mask.
Yeah.
Go to the Recording Academy's Music Cares COVID-19 charity.
Okay.
Which is cool.
Cool. And then they can go on Tidal. They can see the making of this one, right? The 6th or 7th day.
Yeah.
Making of that track.
Yeah, that one's cool.
Oh. Yeah, man. You put the soundtrack for the Smokers, man. So how you gonna celebrate the rest of the day, Mike? You just gonna keep rolling? What we doing?
Yeah, I'm doing a thing on High Times today at 420.
Perfect.
With Tommy Chong. Tommy Chong's just like a national smoke out. I'm gonna play my album in the background while everybody smokes.
Oh, that's great.
You know, it's definitely a good album to smoke to, right?
Right. Hour and a half. Great soundtrack. Great work, man.
Man, thank you, brother.
Congrats, Mike, man. Continued success, brother.
Oh yeah. We'll see you soon, man. When this shit's over, I didn't know you was in LA. We need to go catch dinner or something.
Yes, sir. I would appreciate that, man. We're gonna make it happen.
All right, man.
All right, Mike. Love,
thanks
brother.
to Tidal for all the love, all the manners.
Absolutely.
You know,
Shout out Jason Capone.
They looked out for me better
man.
than any other DSP, you know.
Hope said, man, make sure Mike is done right, man. All the problems over here, man.
Shout out Hove, man. Thanks for all the support and inspiration through the years, man.
Oh wait, tell me the MWA story real quick. I always forget to ask you about that.
Me and Craig Kalman, right?
Yeah.
Me and Craig Kalman were having a meeting about it was like 10 years ago when I was talking about first starting to DJ and wanting to do this album, which I never have done. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I should DJ in a mask, like a Mexican wrestling mask. Before everybody was doing the mask, the only person doing the mask was Daft Punk, I think. And he was like, yeah, you could be like the Mexican wrestling match. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, man, Mexican Wrestling Association, I could take NWA's logo and that's about it, really. It's like
taking off, man.
It started off as kind of a joke, that's what I stick it on the end of my name for when I DJ and shit.
And they call you one of the goats, man. How does it feel when you see the goat emoji and when they call you the goat out here, man?
No, it's
the
crazy.
Mike D fans are serious. Like the people that are up know the music.
Oh yeah.
The fan base that rides with you, that are informed, like they go hard for you.
Yeah, we gotta grow that. You know what I mean? When this COVID shit's over, I want to be fucking playing Coachella next year. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Right, come on, let's go. Let's get some fucking hits. All I need is one of those songs to go in Tron 3. You know what I mean?
There we go.
That one right there that you just played. Now, number 24.
Okay.
That should be in Tron 3.
Well, let's pull that up. Wait, let's pull 24.
That's the one you were just playing, yeah.
Okay.
I think Jared Leto's making that. You got to get Jared Leto to give me a call.
Yes, sir. We on it, man. All right, go once again, man. Continue success, brother.
Okay, thank you, man. Have a good day.
Yes, sir, Mike. Yeah. That's the great Mike Dean, man. One of the GOATs, baby. Only type of GOAT talk we do here at the Tidal Check-In, man. Appreciate you guys checking in. I don't know who I got tomorrow, but I'm coming back strong, man. Appreciate the support on Tidal. Look out for that Babyface Teddy Riley battle. I think it's finally going down tonight. Tidal's going to have the playlist when we're ready to go. Shout out everybody on the check-in. Shout out those hardcore Mike Dean fans. I think the Mike Dean Daily site was in here. Shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate the support. Talk soon, man. Elliott Wilson, Tidal.